What's going on, everybody? Thanks for stopping by my channel today. My name is Daryl and we're in the shop, and we're going to take a look at this SAMLEX power supply today, the SEC-1235M, with the M standing for meters. And that thing took a lightning strike, as we all know, and we're going to see if we can't fix it. It's putting out the 13.8 volts that it should, and operating fine in that way, but the fan stays on all the time, and we want to try to fix the fan and make sure that it's working properly. So it's a part on my desk already, or my bench already, and I've kind of looked it over a little bit, but we're going to replace a couple of parts today and see if we can't track down what the issue is with the fan. So let's turn the camera around and see what we got going on. I'm at my bench here, and I have the power supply apart, as you know from the last video, and we're going to repair this, or at least attempt to repair this. And what we're going to do today is, if you can see down here, we're going to replace these two safety caps, and you can see that the side has been blown out of this one, so you can kind of get an idea of what's inside one of these. And we got a lot of charring here, so I will remove these two safety caps and replace them with these two here, and we will see what that does for us. So I'll have to replace them, put the unit back together again, and then try it and see what it does. So without further ado, let's see if we can get this little job done. So what I'm going to do is I will remove them first. So I'm going to put a little bit of solder down here, and I'm going to use this one, clean off the tip a little bit, and then we'll put a little solder down here on these. This one here doesn't seem like it wants to take any solder, but I will force it. Alright, now is a desolder gun, and if my hands can stay non-shaky. Oop, gotta be careful. The leads on these are really small. Okay, let's see if I got those loose. This one's out. And let's see. Come on, buddy. Let's put a little heat to this one. See if I can't get it out. There we go. Alrighty. Looks like the holes are clean. Alright, so let's see if I can find something to clean this with. What should I do? What should I do? Let me stop the camera here, and I'll see if I can get some cleaner. And we'll clean off this this part of the board here and see if I can get some of this charring off. Let me go get some cleaner. Alright, let's see if a little Simply Green will take this off. I have no idea. Oh yeah. I don't think that I'll get it clean enough where no one would ever suspect that it's been hit. But we just want to try to clean it up a little bit. A little bit. That way I know when it gets hit again. I know if the power supply took a whack again. So the plastic doesn't look like it's gonna come off of that, so whatever. It's not a really big deal. Yeah, it's coming off a little bit. Let me get another. right, well, I guess we know Simply Green will take the charring off. Let's see what it does on this side of the board. Looks pretty good. There. It's not bad. Not bad at all. Can you guys even see that? You know, you're moving it around, not paying attention. All right. I think that's kind of good enough. Okay. Let's get a little towel and dry that off a little bit. All right. It's looking pretty good. And these are non-polarized. So you can see this one here. I can't get it too close to the camera because the camera won't be able to focus on it. But yeah. And this one here got its leg blown off. And I don't think it's still in here. It doesn't look like it is. Everything looks like all the holes are clear. So let's move those aside and let's get these set in here. And we'll get these remounted back in again. And let's get this one in. Turn around so Daryl can see it. And then let's get the old stuff off of here. Get that set. A little bit of flux down. Some people solder without flux. I do solder with flux. I just think it makes the solder flow better. Give me some solder. All right. A little bit on the tip here. Now I got this ring light down low, trying to get some light on the situation. Right. And one more. Okay, and I'll have to stop the camera so I can get my my nippers out of the drawer here. I don't think I can get it. You guys are sitting on my flat. Oh, I got it. No, I got it. Never mind. You guys are sitting on my pull-out table. All right. Okay. And we'll get a little bit more. Get this. This is no clean solder, but I just remove as much, or sorry, flux. Well, I like to get rid of it anyway. All right. Let's turn this baby over. And there we go. So we got our new safety caps mounted in there. And so now we're going to put this thing back together again and see if it works properly. So let me rearrange the bench here, and then we'll come back and we'll put this thing back together again. I have the inside of the cabinets cleaned up as about as much as I can do it. I don't know if you can see it, but there's some heavy welding going on, like arcing going on right here. It actually is a little lump right here. So, you know, it it's going to be, that little scorch mark's going to be there. It's got a little wound. So the first thing we need to do is, before we put this board back in here, is we didn't need to coat the back of this with some thermal paste. So that's what I'm going to do right now. And I don't think it has, there was a lot on there. I'm going to put just a little less on there than there was on there. And we'll try to stay out of your way so you can see me. And I think that's going to be good. It doesn't hurt to take these apart every now and then and replace this thermal paste. Okay, now I got to get this thing in here without making a big mess. So let's try and do that. So this fan cable goes underneath the board. I believe that's how they had it routed. So that's the way I'm going to put it back. And it seemed like it was okay like that. So I'm going to try to get this thing in here without making a mess. So I'm going to probably block you a little bit. Try to figure out how I got this out. Let's see. That out of the way. There. So I will put the screws in for just loosely for the board. And then once I have them all in, then I will, oops, wrong screw. Don't do that. Come on. Jeez. All right, I can't get that out of there. I gotta block you. All right. Let's try a different one. Let's try the right one. And this one don't look right either. There. So I'm just going to put them in and just, not tighten them up all the way until I get all the screws in, and then we'll go through and tighten them up. Oh, gosh darn, I dropped them. Ah. Okay. Well, let's see if I can get this one down in there. The answer to that question is no. Let's try that again. I need to get out my tweezers, but they are underneath you. So let me try that again. Let me try getting it out. That's the one bad thing about this board. Let's see here. Let's see if I can find the ones I want. Is every time I want to get something out of this drawer, I can't. Well, I can, but it's rough. Here. All right. So I'll take this like that. Bring it in. See if I can grab a hold of it. Yeah. Okay. Lightly. And I got this one over here in the corner to do. Trying to remember where all these things go is not easy. I did not, well, I ended up I had them laid out properly, and then I moved everything to make the last video. Well, actually, I moved everything to get ready for this video, and then I lost track of where everything went. Okay. So this longer screw here, you can tell that it goes over here on the, on this one here, so, because it has the thermal paste in it. We're just going to, again, just lightly, I'm going to take that back out and see if I can get this out of here. They have some goo on here to lock this in its place. Glue. And I don't like that on there, so okay. All right. Very lightly. And these two black ones, they go down in here and to the heat sink. And let's get that in. Okay. This one's going to be rougher because there's a piece of heat shrink tubing or tubing of some sort in my way. So I'm going to have to try to force it over while I screw it in. I do not like that. All right, let's see if I can find something to move that over with. That's not going to work. I know you can't see it, but it's being smashed by this screw. What a pain. Yeah, it's because, here we go. I can't do that. That's a pain. Well, I think I'm going to have to find a screwdriver. Hold on, let me get a screwdriver, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I don't know if you can see it or not, but what I'm having trouble with is this piece of shrink tubing is underneath my screw, the bottom of my screw head. So when I screw it in, it's pinching this. So I have this screw loose, but it didn't make any difference. So what I think I'm going to do is try to pull up on these two and take this thing off and see I can just pull it up and see if I can work this thing underneath it. So it's going to, I can't hold it and show you guys at the same time. So I'm trying. Let's see. It just doesn't look like it's going to work. Let's see if I can loosen this up a little bit more. It's as loose as it's going to go. Dang. Man, what a pain. I don't know what I'm going to do here. I need like a putty knife just to hold the whole thing back at once. Let me go grab a putty knife and see if that'll work. Okay, I have a putty knife here. So what I'm going to do is try to hold this whole thing back at once and see if I can take it in behind the screw head and see if I can push this whole thing back and get the screw in there. So I won't be able to do both things, show you and do this. It is a pain. So there's got to be a better way to do this than this. It came out of here easier than that. Man, it's rough. All right, I'm going to have to take the screw back out. It just is not going to work. Wow. All right. Let's see if I can get the putty knife in there and put my screw back in. Oh, come on. All right, we're going to get mean with it. I'm going to get mean with it. I don't know if I can do all this. It is rough. Okay, let's see if I can drop it in the hole. No. Man, that is really not good. There's got to be a better way than this. I must not be seeing it. Because this is just absolutely ridiculous here. All right, I'm going to stop the camera here so I can try to wiggle this thing in there and get this done. Okay, I did get it. I did end up taking this bracket down here that secures these down to the heat sink and pop this thing loose. It's not glued, so if you come up to this point and you find it really rough to get this thing out of here, don't worry about if you have to pry up just slightly underneath this, because they're not glued. They're just held in place so tight that the friction is bonded it a little bit to this heat sink. So don't be afraid about popping it loose. I was afraid they glued that down, but they did not. So I did work it up and then got it up and I got my screw in there. So I had to take this whole board back out to be able to do that. So definitely make sure you got that problem solved before you start putting everything back together again, because you might be in the same spot I'm in. So now we're going to go back. I'm going to put all my screws back in again and we'll go from there. So yeah, lesson learned on that one. Okay, that one's in. See if I can get that one back in. And I am not left-handed at all. Back up a little bit and go forward. So when I put a screw in, usually like this, I will get in the hole, then I'll back it up until I hear a pop tick, like you just heard the tick, and then I'll start screwing forward. That way I don't screw up the threads. All right, that goes in there. And then, oops, you know what? I put this wrong screw in. Come on. Come on, Daryl. That goes there. Back it up, go forward. All right, one more to hold the board over in this corner. You know, I did get sleep last night, but my body is acting like I didn't sleep at all. All right. Now, where's my long screw? Oh, here's my other black one. That goes in there. Push this back down where it goes. And this one goes in here. I just gotta find it. All right. All right. I think I got all the screws in, except for these two. These go, to hold the terminals onto these. All right. So now I will screw the heat sink back down to the board, or the case, whatever you want to call it. All right. Be really careful here, you don't over tighten. Now we'll tighten the board. Again, just be careful, just snug them down good. You don't have to over crank it. You just cause trouble. All right. And, over here, this goes in here. Let's see if I can get that in there. Might need to. Let's get my needle nose, or my tweezers. Oh, come on. Why do they make stuff so small? Do we really want everything to be small? There's one. And I'm going to check this real quick. So this one is the voltmeter. It comes across here, comes over here, and here. And they are not marked. And one of the problems I had with this, I got them in the wrong one. See, that's why you check. You should check first. Let's see, let's just double check. Voltmeter here, voltmeter. Yeah, so here, up to here, here. And then which one is a volt? It does say volt. Voltmeter. Okay, so that was here, here, here. Okay, so they were reversed. So it's a good thing I checked. But my fingers don't go down in that little area in which I need to plug this in. All right, plugged in. Tuck it down in here real nice. Okay, then the fan. Let's get it plugged back in. Another thing that's going to just block your vision because it's just really hard. I need a camera that's over the top of me, you know. All right, and then this one goes here. This one goes here. Okay, And then these go in here like this. That's for the power button. Okay, and okay. Now, on this side goes this. Boom, in. And I like to have these up, of course, and that's how they're supposed to be. Boom, back in. I cleaned them all off so they look real nice. And then we will make the connection here. And that's these screws. Let's just drop this thing into here. And get her tight. And the other one, oop, caught it. Positive lead. I'm going to sneak it underneath this one. That's probably how it was. All right. All right, we're back together again. Let's go through and just make sure all screws are snug down. I don't like that. That don't look good on this side. Why? What happened here? Do I have the wrong screws in there? I don't think so. Why is that so loose? It's not even screwed down. Huh. What did I do wrong? I don't think so. I don't think I did anything wrong. Huh. Let's take the screw back out of here. Oh, you know what? I think these go on from the... Oh, geez. All that messing around. I think the screws go on from the underneath and come through. God. No wonder they made it like that. All right. I goof up sometimes. I'm like other people. You know, I'm people. I mess up. You just saw it here, live. Yeah, that's why. Who would have thought? Really? I should have remembered that. Oh my God. Oh, that's how it goes sometimes. No wonder I had such a rough time with that. Let's see. I might have to try to hold that up. I can't find the screw hole. He's probably mad at me now. Oh my gosh, Daryl. Really? It happens. There we go. Wait a minute. I don't like it. There we go. That doesn't look very good. I don't like it. I might have to run a tap through it. I don't want to go through. Oh boy. Let's run it back through this way. See if I can, if it's the threads that are messed up, maybe I can clean them back up again. And it goes right in this way. Okay. And this side didn't want to. Let's switch screws and see if that helps. Yeah, I'm not going to cut this out. I goofed that up. I'll admit it. Yeah. Oh, this one's not going. Damn. No, it don't want to go in. Come on. All right, let me stop this camera and we'll find out what's going on here. I got it in there. I ended up flipping it over again, running the screw in from the other direction, and just cleaning up the threads. I don't know if it was what was going on with that. After I ran it through the other way again and then came back, I was able to get it in there. So, wow. You know, it's not actually comfortable out here doing this video. It is, I'm looking at the thermometer in here. It is 84 degrees in here. I don't have air conditioning, so it is hot. And, you know, sometimes you're thinking about the heat and you're not thinking about what you're doing. So, do I like that? Not really. I don't like that. Now's a good time to go back and look at things that you've done and decide whether you can live with what it looks like. I don't like that. Let's see if we can maybe sneak that under here. I don't like it coming in contact with the cover. I guess the best thing would have been to take a picture of this before I took it apart, just to look at routing of the wires. Oh man, it really is not cooperating with me today. There we go. All right, that's a little better. All right, that's a little better. There you go. That's a little better. So it's not touching anything. It looks pretty good like that. But I don't like this one either now. But I do like that it's coming off there, the way it's coming off here, but I don't like that it's raised up like that. I think the lead is just slightly too long. So we're just going to leave it the way it is. All right, so let's not get fussy. All right, let's turn this thing on. I'll find the power cord to this thing. We'll crank it up, and we'll see if it'll run anything. All right, I got my AC cord here, my power supply. Let's see what happens when I turn it on. So, it's plugged in. So all we're going to see is the voltage, and the voltage looks good there. My fan is on. That's a bad sign, because that was what the problem was before. But we fixed those safety caps. But I think in the next video we're going to have to find out what's going on with it. So let's just let this run a little bit and see if this fan turns off. It might be on because it is, like I said, it's 84 degrees in here. So I might have to come back in here tonight and just check it. But let's take a look at the voltage out on it. Just see what we got. Oh, I set it up right. There you go. So we got 13.757675. So yeah, so it's fine. But that fan's running all the time. Now it could be one of two things. One, like I said, it's hot in here. So what I'll do is I'll take it in the house where it's air conditioned and let it sit in there for a little bit, and then I'll do the same test and we'll find out if that fixed it. If it didn't fix it, we'll be back here at some point to troubleshoot this, because down inside here, I don't want to poke anything in there metallic. So way down in here, now you're probably not going to be able to see it. There's a little transistor down there that meters this fan. So you get the down here, I think it's this this lead here that's got the red heat shrink on it. That is picking up the temperature from this transformer and bringing it back over here, and then based on what feedback it brings to this transistor, it will turn this transistor on or off. And I believe, and I might be wrong, because like I said, I'm going to take this thing in the house where it's cooler and see if Maybe because this thing is at 84 degrees, that's when it turns the fan on. Now I don't know, since I don't have a schematic for this, if this is voltage adjustment. I'm going to have to check, or if this is telling it when to turn the fan on or off. Like, what are these two here? You know, what are these two doing? So I need to find that out. And so I will, you know, if this does not shut off when I bring it in the air conditioning, then we'll have to make another video, and I'll have to try to determine what that is. And I think I'll end up in the meantime, I think I'm going to call them up and see if they will give me a schematic for this thing. I should have did that. I should have done that already. But I thought on the internet I would find something, but I looked everywhere, all my normal places, to try to find a schematic, and I didn't find one that anybody made. So sitting here like this, it still operates as a power supply. It still operates fine, except for the fan being on all the time. But that could be just, like I said, from it being 84 degrees in here. So I'll probably end up in the video here, and then if I take this thing into the house and it works, and I'll tack it onto the end of this video. And if it doesn't work, plan on coming back at some point when I figure out, or maybe get the schematic for this thing, and maybe we can get our replacement part and put it in. But yeah, bummer. That's what happens when you get hit by lightning. It just causes all kinds of trouble. So right now everything seems to be working good as far as it being a power supply, but it's not. It is not 100% if this fan doesn't turn off. So, all right. Well, we might be halfway there with it. Power supply into the house and let it sit in the house for a while in the air conditioning. And I wasn't really sure that was going to make any difference, and it really didn't. And I did read the manual and find out that this thermistor here, which is that of the, it has this red heat shrink tubing on it, should turn the fan on when the temperature here and the thermistor and the transformer here gets to be around 140 degrees Fahrenheit, and then shut it off when it gets to around 104 Fahrenheit, and it's actually leaving it on all the time. So I checked this transistor here, the one we were talking about possibly being wrong or bad, in this diode here. The diode appears to be good, but the transistor appears to be bad. So I will have to order one of these transistors. I really don't know that I have one. I mean, I will look, and if I do have one, we'll just continue with this video. If not, though, there will be a part 2, and we'll just go from there and see if we can get this fixed. But in the meantime, the power supply is operating fine. It's just the fan circuit that's bad. So I'd rather have the component maybe blow up. Maybe, I don't. I guess if it doesn't blow up, it doesn't hurt the circuit board any. But I do believe that transistor is bad. So I will look for one and see if I have it. If I don't, then I'll order some, and then we'll just make a part 2 and see if I can get this thing fixed. We got the 2 safety caps installed. It didn't make any difference at all for our fan running all the time, so we'll have to keep looking and see if we can find the problem for that. Most likely it's going to be those switching transistors. It could be the thermistor that's connected to the transformer. And as you see, there's 2 wires, or actually there's 4 wires coming out from underneath that transistor. And one of them for sure is the thermistor. And I don't know what the other one is. Is it another thermistor? I really don't know. I'll have to see if I can contact SAMLEX and see if they can send me a copy of the schematic for this power supply. As I said, when I got it, it didn't come with one. So we'll give them a call and see if I can get one from them. I could not find one online, which is bad news, because usually if you can't find one online, you won't find one from the company. Like, they won't give you one. So we'll find out what's going on there. Some of these companies, they don't want you to fix your own stuff. they want you to send it to them. So let's see what this company does and see if they come through with a schematic from me. And if they don't, we'll have to just try to figure it out on our own. But anyway, I want to thank everybody who stopped by the channel today. I want to thank all my subscribers and new subscribers. I really appreciate you taking the time to sit and watch my videos. And the comments are great. I really enjoy the comments. Keep them coming, and I'll try to keep the videos coming. So thank you for being here today, and we'll catch you on the next one.